Hopefully everything is correct now. It's always a little bit of a battle because Facebook and YouTube are constantly changing the way they do things, which is fine. That's how you improve. But every time they change something, I have to learn something new. Today I want to talk a little bit about working remotely, and the reason I want to talk about that is because I am in Utah at the moment, and it is wet and snowy outside. I canceled all of my live in-person appointments for the day. Moved them till tomorrow when the salt trucks and the plows have had a chance to take care of this. We've had probably 4 inches of snow outside. Not that that's a tremendous amount for Utah, but it just wasn't a day that I wanted to go outside. Also, looking at the news, the coronavirus is making headlines. I guess there's 17,000 confirmed cases in Wuhan in China. And there's some cases here in the United States. And we've just are getting over the flu in our house. If you notice me coughing during this stream, it is because I haven't quite gotten over it. But the really wonderful thing is I don't have to worry about slipping and sliding into work. I don't have to worry about sitting next to someone with a 102-degree fever and potentially catching what they have. I have been an advocate of remote work for more years than I would like to admit that I've even been on the planet. I remember going into Radio Shack when I was little with my dad, and computers have always been really interesting to me. So it was interesting to go in and see a modem for the first time. And it was long enough ago that it was when you would actually take the handset of your phone and put it on top of the modem. And at the time, my parents owned a pest control company in North Seattle. Dad covered Seattle, King County, and I distinctly remember him going down to Tacoma and Olympia as well. So the Seattle major metropolitan area, which just really kind of goes all the way down from Bellingham down to Olympia and almost around the Olympic Peninsula, that whole area. Greater Seattle, I guess is what you would call it. It's changed a lot since I've been there. I've been home to Seattle one time since we moved away in 1981. So, and it's changed a lot, and I don't remember all the little cities. That was pre-Microsoft that we left. So, but Mom ran the business out of a spare bedroom in our home, and that really made a big impression on me as a girl. I'm the firstborn of 8 children, and I recognized how precious it was that my mother was home. This was, the late 70s, and mothers were starting to really enter the workforce, and honestly, I'm all in favor of doing what you need to do to take care of your family. And sometimes that means moms need to work, and sometimes that means that moms really want to work. I mean, just do whatever makes you happy. I'm not trying to be political in any way, but I remember as a girl that it was important to me that my mom was home, and many of my friends did not have, they were latchkey kids. They would, I literally had a key on a chain around their necks, and they would go home and to an empty house. And I thought, well, my mom's at work, but she's at work at home, and that means that there's cookies and milk waiting for me. And that made a big difference. Like I said, the world has changed since then. So I've just been really blessed that I've also been able to work from home. However, those blessings extend quite a bit further from just being there for my kids, which was important. I've been able to raise my children working from home as a single mother. that was really important to me. Um, and now I don't have to worry about going out in public and exposing myself to, or worse, exposing other people to my flu. That's really the part that I worry about. I don't want anyone to get sick because they had to do business with me. Or there were many times when I worked in corporate America, there were many times that it was considered a badge of honor to go to work with a fever of 102 and uh, get the whole office sick. Honestly, I've never understood that because this was working in an office attached to a hospital, and it was a badge of honor that we should just go ahead and come into work sick. So I've always really liked the idea of working from home. I don't necessarily think it is the be all end all of all things, but it has been for me. And it has been a truly wonderful thing to do, especially on days like this. A part of the reason this kind of came up today was that I was corresponding with a gal on Facebook. Excuse me. And she said that she was looking for a tax preparer who was basically in her neighborhood. And everyone kept referring her to someone who was 45 minutes away. And she said, no, I want someone close by. And I finally said, why? This is the 21st century. Close by as in the same time zone, or close by as you can walk to their office, because in the 21st century, for office type work, for tax preparation, is there really a reason to have to go into their offices? Now, you may choose to, that may be something you really like, but I do face-to-face meetings, one-on-one meetings all the time over the internet. The nice thing for me about that is that I don't have to put travel time into my schedule. So when I say I need to meet with someone and they are in Sandy, or they are in St. George, or they're in Brigham City, or they're in Los Angeles, or they're in Seattle, or I do kind of stick to the West, or they're in Louisville, Kentucky, or they're in Miami, Florida, it doesn't matter. I don't have to build time to travel into that schedule. I'm able to switch quickly from one client to another, and that means that my time is maximized. That also means that my client's time is maximized for the same reason. They don't have to sit and go, well, it snowed today in Utah. Does that mean I need to add another hour to my meetings? It means that they say, can we just meet over the internet? Another advantage to me, one of the reasons I prefer to meet over the internet when at all possible, is that I can then share my screen without sharing all of my screen. And by that I mean I use Zoom meetings, and that means we get the face-to-face, which is very similar to this video, only that there's it's more personal, obviously, but we still get to see each other's faces, and that's important to me. And I can then share the portions of my screen that's relevant. I have 2 monitors right now. I'm looking to set up a third one that'll be portrait instead of landscape, because it's easier to read long PDFs on a portrait-oriented screen. I don't need my clients to see my calendar or notifications from other clients or private emails or other clients' books. And by sharing a screen and doing this all remotely, I have control over what my prospects and my clients are seeing. And that means that they are seeing those things that are relevant to them, and I'm able to provide more security for my other clients. That's really important to me. Excuse me. I said I am just getting over the flu. It has hung on for a week longer than I really thought it would. I thought I was over it last weekend, but I wasn't. So that means that, I know I can share one screen and I can put other items on another screen. I can give that client that's before me on the camera my full attention. They can see what I'm looking at while I'm looking at it, without trying to say, okay, walk me through, how did you get there? I can show them what I clicked on to get there. And that makes things easier. I am one of those people that I passionately dislike having someone stand behind me watching me work, but I don't mind sharing my screen. And I don't mind doing it over the internet. It actually is easier for me to do it that way because I'm then able to decide what I'm sharing. I'm able to notate the screen. I'm able to mark things up. I'm able to do all this cool stuff so that the client that I'm talking to remotely can see everything that I'm doing without standing over my shoulder. So there is some security reasons to it. Otherwise, I would have to close everything down, which I'm used to doing. I actually go to college online as well to finish my accounting degree, and I will be pursuing an MBA through the same college as well. And so I'm used to, when I take an exam, I can't have any other applications open. I can't have, I have to be really careful about notifications coming in. It's done over Zoom meetings though, so I know it's secure. It's just a really simple thing, and I've become very used to proctored exams, just as if I was in the testing center at a university. I have to show them my whole room, close the door, and it's probably more secure because there's nobody else around me that I can peek and see what their answers are. So I'm just really, and maybe it is because I'm really used to working in an online environment. Today, it is less and less important that I meet with someone personally, face to face. It is still nice, and I do still meet with clients live and in person, but it's less necessary. It is very easy to do these meetings 100% remotely by utilizing all of the technology that's, 90% of it is free anyway. It makes it so much easier. Then I don't have to worry about weather-related events. I don't have to worry about illness. I don't have to worry about anything. If I'm sick, I can mention it to my client over the camera, but I don't then have to worry about potentially making them sick, or having them. When I worked for a tax preparation firm, that was a great big green block, people would come into our office because that's what you did back then. And a lot of these were lower income people, and they were seeking their earned income credit. They weren't necessarily the business owners that I work with today. But I would always, this is always the time that I get the flu. And so I would worry that here these people are coming in, they're low income, they don't necessarily have the money to go to the doctor. Yes, I'd be on Tamiflu or whatever my doctor prescribed me for my illness, but I would still worry that, am I giving something to them that's going to cause problems later? So it's kind of a relief to work with business owners who are used to working with computers and used to having these conversations over the internet. Again, it is actually more secure online. And then when it's time to sign papers or sign a contract, there is software that allows you to just digitally sign your contract, and it is legally binding. So that's not a problem either. So I am finding that I have less and less of a reason, other than just the social experience of going and meeting with someone and being out of the house. As far as business is concerned, there's less and less reason for me as an accountant to meet with clients in person if I don't absolutely have to. And there are more compelling reasons for me to do these meetings over the internet. With that said, we are expanding. and we are expanding to Orange and Los Angeles counties, California. We are going to be working remotely, and if you live in Orange County or Los Angeles County, please feel free to reach out to me. This is our website. If you live down there, if you've been to Southern California, you know how abominable the traffic is. And to be honest, when I'm billing by the hour, I bill from the second I leave my front door until the moment I get home. Every minute that I'm out of the house, or excuse me, out of the office, is billed. So if you are down in Southern California and you want me to come meet with you, you probably don't want me to come meet with you in person, because I do bill for that time. Sitting in traffic. It's so much easier. It's better for the environment. It's better for my time. I can get more done. There's no need to restrict your bookkeeping needs to your geographical area. Okay. MySimpleBookkeeping.com is the website. Yes, we are expanding into Orange County, Los Angeles County, hopefully soon San Diego County, and in Las Vegas. So if you live anywhere between Brigham City, Utah, and the Pacific Ocean to the southeast, excuse me, southwest, yes, we will work with you. Actually, we will work with anyone nationwide, but we are consciously expanding into Los Angeles and Orange counties. So we would love to hear from you. Please let us know if you have any needs for bookkeeping. We will continue to work with our Utah clients. We're not letting anybody go. So we're just expanding. That's kind of it for today. That's my little rant about why I work remotely, why I think it's a good thing. I think it's better for the environment. It's more sustainable. It's even with an electric car, there's still some emissions. They just don't happen to be where you are. So even if you have an electric car, it is more sustainable to just work over the internet. Then all you're doing is disturbing a few electrons, and you don't have to worry about it. We keep everything secure here at Bookkeeping Made Simple, so that's not something you need to worry about necessarily. That's kind of it for today. I will talk to you again soon. I apologize. I did do a video earlier and there was no audio, so that was kind of a problem. Talk to you again soon. Have a wonderful week.